Okay, so in this video we will see that how in case of a series RLC circuit we should consider things. Here the current expression, to save some of our time, I have already drawn the circuit and already written down the expression of the current. Now see here, the interesting thing is that R, L and C all are constant, but variable is omega. And what we know, when for a value of omega is equal to omega resonance, what we have? We have omega L is equal to 1 by omega C. Magnitude wise, omega L becomes is equal to 1 by omega C. And the circuit starts behaving like a pure resistance. And also the two extreme condition is 0 when the capacitor behaves like an open circuit, and infinity, omega is equal to infinite, means a very large frequency. And in case of omega is equal to infinity, what will happen? This inductor will behave like an open circuit. Although the capacitor behaves like a short circuit, but that won't change anything because your circuit is open and no current can flow. And similarly, the thing will happen for 1 is equal to omega c. When it is 0, then also means you have no other choice, no current can flow through this. Another interesting thing to note is that when you have, suppose, the two extreme case, let me write one by one. When omega is equal to 0, I would like to draw your attention towards the phase angle. The phase angle offered by this circuit is tan inverse omega L minus 1 by omega C by R. So when your this should be a negative phase angle, like this is the total phase angle offered by this circuit, or phase shift offered by this circuit is equal to this. Now when omega is equal to 0, then what you are having here, you are having this part will become 0 and this part will be like minus. So basically the phase shift offered by your circuit will become pi by 2 at omega is equal to 0. Although if you consider the magnitude will be 0 because at omega is equal to 0, this omega c, this will become infinitely large, the capacitive reactance will become infinitely large, and the magnitude of the current will become 0, but the current will have a phase orientation, or the phase shift of the current will be 90 degree. Now what will happen when omega is equal to infinite? Then you will have from the same equation, what we will get? It will be minus tan inverse infinite, and the whole system will offer a phase shift of minus pi by 2 at omega is equal to infinite. Now the thing is that here we should not forget, for both the case omega is equal to 0 and omega is equal to infinity, the magnitude of current becomes 0, but the phase angle for omega is equal to 0 is pi by 2, while for omega is equal to infinity it is minus pi by 2. Correct? So with this understanding, let us try to draw the locus diagram for variable frequency omega. So here we have considered two extreme cases. Now let us draw the locus diagram here. There is some problems. Okay. So now let us draw the locus diagram. So let me first plot the two extreme cases. One is omega is equal to infinity. So not omega is equal to infinity, obviously it should be omega is equal to 0. So when omega is equal to 0, we have the pure capacitive current here. Magnitude is vanishingly small, but orientation is 90 degree. And what about omega is equal to infinity? It will have here magnitude vanishingly small, but this one you can see that it is lagging by 90 degree, while this one is leading by 90 degree. So what will happen when we will keep on changing our value of omega? Gradually the current through this circuit will increase. Why? Because see, you may give an argument that with increasing value of omega, this omega L will increase, but that means change of omega L will be dominated by the change of 1 by omega c. What I am trying to say that before omega is equal to omega resonant, 1 by omega c is greater than omega L. And as it is greater than omega L, when you are increasing this omega till omega resonant, this 1 by omega c change is always dominates this omega L. So your circuit will behave like a capacitor, and as in capacitor current leads the voltage, so it should always lead your reference voltage, and we will have a semicircular locus here. Now every time I am claiming that this locus will be of semicircular nature, there is a simple trigonometric relations can be used to, and geometric relation can be used to prove that these are semicircle. But here we are not to excel or like practice mathematics and nourish our geometry and trigonometric skills. So I will not waste time on showing you by to prove that this one is a circle. If you are interested, you can prove it by yourself. Just by taking at any time point, you take you can prove it. And then here for inductive current, here you will have so it should make a full circle, not like this kind of oval. This is my drawing problem. So this red locus indicate that inductive circuit, and this blue locus or cyan locus, it indicates capacitive current. And this point here, your circuit, it is omega is equal to omega resonance. So here you will have the maximum value of current flowing through this, and that is also, this corroborates well with our previous understanding when we know that in series RLC circuit during resonance maximum value of current flows through the circuit. So this is a diagram. Now a few things here we should consider, that if at any instance, if I want to measure the power for any value of, now obviously this is everything we have drawn, some locus, semicircular locus, then what is the meaning? Like if I means how to interpret, or if I give someone a locus diagram for a given circuit, then what are the information he or she can extract from this given diagram? That is very important. First information is that if you give this to somebody and if he knows his operating frequency, obviously your supply frequency will be constant. For experimental purpose or for experimentation, you have artificially varied your frequency from 0 to infinity. For practical case, your frequency will be constant. Suppose you have a frequency where your operating point is here. Your circuit behaves like a particular RLC circuit where omega L greater than 1 by omega C operating omega, or for giving omega. So at that point, what is the amount of real power? It is very easy to figure out. Just draw the current phasor and whatever projection you will get over this voltage line, if you draw them in scale, then this one will give you the information of your active power, and this one will give you the information of reactive power. So interestingly, if we know or if we can get the locus diagram at any operating frequency, we can determine the losses of the circuit or the power, not losses, we should not use the word loss, rather we should use the power consumption of the circuit, active power consumption of the circuit, that we can figure out. Now let us consider the parallel circuit. So in parallel circuit, one thing we should consider, that unlike series circuit, we can't consider voltage as reference. Why? Because here if you connect voltage with a parallel circuit, then what will happen when we make omega is equal to 0? This will behave like a short circuit, and that will appear as a short circuit across this voltage source. So instead of considering here voltage source, here we will consider that it is an alternating current source of nature Im sin omega t, and this current remains constant. As it is a current source, this current remains constant. Like previous case, here we have our like previous case, here we have R L constant and omega is varying from 0 to infinity. So if that is the case, then we will get different value of voltage across this branch. Now, in order to get different value of voltage, what we will have? Suppose make omega is equal to 0. So for omega is equal to 0, what about your voltage across this branch? V will also become 0. And when you make omega is equal to infinite, then what about V? V will be and what about parallel circuit impedance? Parallel circuit impedance will be let me write. Anyways, variable L or variable omega. So here let us do something. Probably you are also aware of that, but let me show you the technique. Like instead of writing the admittance, what I will do, instead of writing the impedance for parallel circuit, we will go for parallel circuit. We will use reciprocal of impedance, that is admittance. And like we know what is impedance. Impedance has got two parts. Z is equal to R plus Jx, where this R is resistance and this one is reactance. Similarly, our this one is impedance. Similarly, we have Y as our admittance is equal to G, that is 1 by R, or it is known as conductance, plus JB, this is known as susceptance. So instead of using this whole thing in terms of impedance, we will go for admittance. Why will our admittance will help us? That is, the idea is very simple. Suppose in case of parallel circuit, if you apply the there is some buffering problem. Anyway, in the parallel circuit, if you apply conventional formula, then how to calculate impedance? Z is equal to R parallel J omega L. Then this will make everything very clumsy. R is equal to J omega L. Then here you will have R plus J omega L. Then you need many complicated manipulation of complex algebra to find out the value of this impedance. But if we take the help of admittance, what in case of series circuits, we should take help of impedance. Why? In case of series circuit, component of impedance as simple addition. But in case of parallel circuit, component of impedance are make some difficult things and it is not easy to manipulate. But in case of parallel circuit, if we take the help of admittance, then what will happen? For parallel circuit, components of admittance. What are the component of admittance? I just told you. Those are conductance and susceptance. They are just reciprocal of corresponding term. Conductance is reciprocal of resistance. Susceptance is reciprocal of your reactance. So this conductance and susceptance, they as simple addition. So this is very important and interesting things to note. And also here, like in case of series circuit, what do we know? In case of series circuit, your voltage is equal to I into J light. So for series circuit, we have voltage V is equal to I into Z. In series circuit. For parallel circuit, what is the formula? I is equal to Vy. Actually, whatever I have written, that may give lead to a means confusion that this I is equal to Vy is only applicable to parallel circuit and V is equal to Iz is only applicable to series circuit. It's not like that. It is desirable that while dealing with parallel circuit, you try to handle the circuit from the perspective of admittance and its component, and while dealing it with your series circuit, you try to deal in terms of impedance. So if we want, then what this will become? This will become G is equal to 1 by R, and this will become B is equal to 1 by J omega L, and that will give you now. See the beauty. The beauty of the whole thing is that it is isn't it just like a series RC circuit? What is the impedance of admittance of this circuit? This circuit admittance is G plus B, that is 1 by R minus J by omega L. Now this whole circuit, if you do this, then it is like it will give you a, but we will not consider this. Only we will consider them as G and B, and we know that B is 1 by omega N. So this will basically G minus JB, and this 1 by R, instead of considering this as 1 by R, we will consider that as something, and this one, this B, will consider. Then what will happen here, like in case of series RC circuit, what was our Z? Z is equal to, and you get some formula. Similarly here you will see, you will get, it will be like, as G is frequency independent, let it be G, because 1 by R will again means place some difficulty in representation. So let it be G, but the other part B, and now see, it almost looked like the admittance of RL circuit is almost look like impedance of series RC circuit. Admittance of parallel RL circuit looks like impedance of series RC circuit. Now this thing can also be written like And what about the angle? Angle will be so here, see the beauty, it is exactly like that, and now you can easily find out the value of V. Value of V can be found out using and this will be then this will give you sin omega t plus tan inverse 1 by omega L G. So see the beauty, the exact type of equation is appearing for voltage in case of parallel RL circuit. We will gradually proceed to the concept of duality, but before that let me draw the locus diagram then. As I have already mentioned, for parallel circuit it is not a wise decision to consider your voltage as reference. We should consider current as our reference. So this is our current reference. Now for omega is equal to 0. See, for omega is equal to 0, your voltage is 0, right? But what about the phase? Phase is 90 degree. Just like what happened to the case of current in series RC circuit, the same thing will happen to the voltage of parallel RL circuit. Now, if you take a few value, you will get, and when omega is equal to infinity, what is the situation here? For omega is equal to infinity, this will become 0 and this will give you like Im by root under v. So here at omega is equal to infinity, you will have Im by g, that is the maximum value of voltage you can get, and the voltage locus will be like this. See the beauty, it is sorry, it is just like that whatever we have in case of this is parallel RL circuit, and previously we had similar kind of curve. Only thing here it is this locus is for voltage, V is varying, and for series RC circuit you have voltage here and your current was varying. This one was for series RC circuit. So this is omega is equal to 0. Here it was omega is equal to infinite. So here it is just like, now what is the concept of duality? If you without making it much complicated and without much theoretical discussion, what we can understand here is that cleaning this whiteboard in Microsoft whiteboard is much more difficult than that of sorry for that inconvenience. So what is the concept of duality? Let me write it in a very clear manner, that duality is like, if you have one circuit, like the concept of duality is that suppose you have two circuit elements, you connect them in series, and then you observe, or okay, let us take more means the simplest view, let us consider the simplest thing without making it much complicated. Let us take the most simple representation. What we do in duality, we replace voltage source by current source, and current is replaced by voltage. Then the resistance is replaced by its corresponding 1 by G, and L is replaced by C and C is replaced by L. So if we make this change in a circuit, and after making all this change, if we observe that the circuit is exhibiting the similar behavior, then we can say that this is a dual circuit. Like what we have in our case of our series RC circuit, we have R, we have C, we have voltage over here. Now, and also one more thing, series connection should be replaced by parallel connection. That is also an important consideration in case of duality studies. So here, right now I am trying to obtain its dual circuit. So first of all, this Vm sin omega t, I must replace this Vm sin omega t by a constant current source Im sin omega t. After replacing this Im sin omega t, I must replace this R by some conductance G, that is having value 1 by G, and the C should be replaced by L in such a manner that 1 by omega L is equal to that omega C there. So what we are getting here is, if this replacement if we have performed, then see the expression of current. The expression of current is Im by root over G square plus 1 by omega L square. Now if I give you some numerical value, it will help you to visualize that instead of Vm In, let us consider here instead of considering Vm Im, let us consider here Vm is equal to Im is equal to 100. Now it's like magnitude wise, not considering the unit, only Vm and Im is equal to 100. Now if that is the case, then, and also see the expression of I when you are considering this RC circuit. The expression of I was, let us take value of R for sake of simplicity in calculation. Let us take omega is equal to 1, R is equal to 1 and C is equal to 1, L is equal to 1. I am taking all this 1. So later on you can change them by their corresponding values. So here what is the expression of current you are getting? You are getting I is equal to 100 by root 2, and then it is sine omega t plus pi by 4. And similarly here what you are getting V is equal to 100 by root 2, current is sine omega t plus pi by 4. Now you may think that as Sir has taken everything omega and every single thing is equal to 1, that um, makes the whole task easy, and that is why he is getting the result. But it is not the actual thing. Rather, you can verify this by yourself, and you should. And if you find it is difficult for you to realize this, then you should come back to me and saying that while we are replacing this by some other value than that of 1, we are having difficulties. Then we will see that what does the problem lie here, and if not, then we will be able to understand the concept of duality without any such difficulty. Now, here one more thing I would like to highlight, that for parallel RL circuit we are observing that it is like series RC circuit, and similarly applying the concept of duality, we can have locus diagram for parallel sorry, parallel RC circuit. So for parallel RC circuit, we can get the similar type of locus for series RL circuit. So what was type of locus? What type of locus did we get for RL series circuit? It was like this. First, this one was your G, this was your omega is equal to 0, and this was your omega is equal to infinity. Right, this was the direction. Now, if this is the case, then similar kind of things we should get. Right now, I am not doing any analysis, I will do the analysis later. But applying the concept of duality, let me draw the same for this only thing. Here it is Im sine omega t, and let me draw the locus diagram for my RC parallel circuit. The locus of voltage should be like this. This should be omega is equal to 0, this should be omega is equal to infinite, and then this is I have drawn just blindly relying on the theory of duality. Let me check whether let me check whether we can get the similar equation for RC parallel circuit with a constant current source. The voltage across these will exactly reciprocate, or means the curve is reminiscent of whatever we get for RL series circuit with a constant voltage source. Now, I can show you the mathematical things, but I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. You can also do things by yourself. That here it will be G is equal to 1 by R, and this C is equal to this is the conductance BC is equal to J omega C. So this exactly look like this one, that whatever we are having here, Y is equal to G plus J omega C, and here it was Z is equal to R plus J omega L. But I am not going to that mathematical manipulation or techniques. Anyone can prove that. But let us try to understand from the physical, what happened in reality. When you take omega is equal to 0, it indicates you are dealing with a DC source. And we know that in steady state, capacitor behaves like an open circuit. So here the capacitor is open circuit. Now, when you gradually increase the value of omega, then what will happen? The capacitive conductance, sorry, not conductance, that is capacitive susceptance. Capacitive susceptance will increase, and as capacitive susceptance will increase, your value of V will decrease, and accordingly V will start lagging your current phasor by angle, and when you make omega is equal to infinity, at that time V will behave like a complete short circuit. Sorry, not V, that capacitive susceptance will behave like a complete short circuit that will result in the magnitude of this V is equal to 0. That means here. Now what about the orientation? Orientation wise, it will be, if you find out the angle of Y, you will see that Y is equal to, angle of Y is equal to tan inverse omega C by G, and it is exactly like this angle of Z. When you did it for RL circuit, it was tan inverse omega L by R. So here it is tan inverse omega C by G. So these things are okay, but if we follow that same logic, then we can see that voltage lags current by an angle 90 degree, and magnitude of that voltage becomes 0 when omega becomes infinity. So can we draw similarly the parallel RLC circuit locus diagram using the same concept? Can we draw it? We have all these are constant. Here we have one Vm sin omega t. Now, sorry, not Vm, this should be Im sin omega t, and here we are interested in observing the locus of this. So what happens when your omega L will become 1 is equal to omega C? Same thing will lead your capacitive and inductive susceptance will become equal to each other. For this circuit, your Y is equal to, just like the impedance of a series RLC circuit, it will become and this will be so when omega L is equal to omega C, your imaginary part or susceptance part will become 0 and you will live with only conductance part, and during this your circuit, when omega L is equal to 1 by omega C, you will reach for a particular value of frequency, omega is equal to omega resonance, then your V will become R into Im sin omega t, and undoubtedly that is the maximum value of voltage that we can achieve across this circuit. Mind it, that is the maximum value of voltage we can achieve across this circuit. Why? Because if you can recall this one, I should write it like Im by G. This one, that here V is equal to Im by Y sin omega t. And when Y will become minimum, Y will become minimum at omega is equal to omega resonance. This is very interesting to note that in case of series circuit, our impedance become minimum at series resonance, and at parallel resonance our admittance become minimum. But the similarity between both of these is that whether it is impedance or it is admittance, in both the case it is a real number. There is no imaginary part. The whole complex quantity become a real thing, and that is very interesting and beautiful things to note. And for two extreme means case, when omega is equal to 0, your this will have an BL value for omega is equal to 0, BL will become infinitely large and BC will become 0. And similarly, when we will consider omega is equal to infinity, you will have BC is equal to infinity. So both these will lead, for both the terminating case, you will have voltage across this branch is equal to 0. So the diagram will look like there is a buffering issue. The diagram will look like this is my I, this is omega is equal to 0, this is omega is equal to omega resonance, and this is the place where BL dominates BC. So this is the place your circuit behaves like an inductive circuit. And the bottom half is this one. Here it is capacity, and here it is omega is equal to infinite. So with this I am going to conclude this locus diagram chapter. In our class, in our tutorial class, we will discuss a few examples.